Welcome to the OHL Fanboys podcast. We're here at the Sleeman Center for the 2018 Sherwin-Williams CHL Top Prospects game. I am Steve McLean. With me is Darius Dominguez. Darius, a funny thing happened this week. The CHL came to us and said, we want you guys to shoot a video from the fanboys' perspective at the Top Prospects game. And
they're crazy.
Yeah, I think they're
a little crazy.
They're a little nuts for doing that. So, you know, they gave us these media passes, and we've been here all day. It's been a long day, man.
I think it's way past 13 hours at this point.
Yeah,
I think we've been here way longer. 9:30 this morning we got here.
It was a long day. It was a lot of media scrums, practices. Yep. It was just
madness.
And at the same time, as long of a day as it's been, it's almost been a blur at the same time.
Yep. It's been such a long day, but we've done so much, and it's like you can't really hang on to one thing. And I'll remember certain parts, but at this point, it's just the whole day has been a blur, and we've been moving and doing all sorts of different things.
It's funny. Someone in the media room asked me earlier. They're like, "Well, you got to have fun with this," and yeah, but I said in response, it's like, I'll have fun with it when it's over and I know it went well.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to look back at this in a week's time, a month, a year, and be like, what an amazing experience. But today it's just been a blur, and I'm tired. But like as much as I'm tired and it's all been a blur, it's been a great experience. And we got to do so much stuff that normal fans or even us maybe a few months ago wouldn't have gotten to do.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they actually requested us to wear our jerseys for a lot of these segments.
Yes, and in the media scrums as well. Like I was expecting to maybe wear, I brought my Steelheads jacket, like a nice looking jacket, maybe I could wear in the media scrums, and then they were like, no, you're going to be wearing your jerseys. And this is a really nice jersey, by the way. Yeah. So I actually enjoyed wearing it, but yeah, it was just weird to be in media scrums with jerseys and everyone around us is wearing casual clothing.
And I mean, hey, I don't mind wearing the jersey. I love wearing the jersey during that stuff. But at the same time, you feel underdressed because you know the rules. It's like no team colors in press boxes and media rooms and whatnot. And here we come rolling in. And there were times during the day we didn't have them on when we weren't shooting. But it's like, yeah, here I come in a Guelph Storm jersey. When it's in the Guelph Storm, oh, here comes that super team, here comes that super fan, right?
No, yeah, of course. But at the same time, we're fans, so it's kind of like this is what we do. We wear jerseys, so it's like we can just be fans in the media scrums instead of like pretending to be professional, I guess. But we were professional, but getting to wear the jerseys and be who we really are and present ourselves as fans was really cool and different. Yeah, we could bring that to the table.
Well, you talk about jerseys. Oh man, it was tempting earlier. We were in the Storm dressing room.
We were
shooting some things, and it was like, here's all. And that's the cool thing about an event like this is they'll get those players to wear their team jerseys for the pregame warm-ups.
We saw it in the morning skate for Team Orr.
Yeah,
they were wearing their jerseys.
Team Cherry didn't though for some reason.
No, they didn't wear theirs for some reason, but we know we had them because they had them because they were wearing them in the pregame warm-up. Right.
And they looked a lot better because they're the team that had all their like the dark colored jerseys, like
the home jerseys.
Yeah. And then Team Orr was the one with all the white jerseys. So other than a little bit of trim, you're watching them do their warm up. It's like, yeah, they could be one team down there.
And Halifax, like their socks, like it was like they were wearing their socks, their home socks. So it was like you couldn't even tell apart.
Yeah, that was like the Team Orr socks. They blended with Halifax
with
perfect.
So many jerseys.
Yeah.
Almost all of them they blended in with. One thing I will say, though, the Mississauga Steelheads blue and white, the white away jerseys, look horrible with black pants. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, so absolutely.
It's okay.
That's okay. Oh, they're trying to tear the poor folks here at the Sleeman Center trying to tear things down after the game. And
Guelph plays tomorrow night, so
yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of stuff to get done.
There's a lot of stuff that they put up for this game,
like
that you would have never known.
No, they're ripping down board ads. You know, you got to look good for Sportsnet.
Yep.
Not only that, but I gotta say, unfortunately, my fellow people at Guelph. They're pigs, man. This place is dirty.
It's a disaster. I wasn't gonna say anything, but there's popcorn everywhere.
Yeah.
Like any hockey game gets like this with kids, and half the popcorn ends up in their stomachs and on the floor. But there's stuff everywhere. But that's what happens when you throw a great event like this. The building was almost sold out.
Yeah.
And it was loud and people were having a great time. So that's really what you want.
I didn't hear the official attendance. I'm sure it's listed somewhere. I'm sure it
Yeah.
probably was officially a sellout. There's some empty seats sometimes around, but it's the way. Sometimes people were up and walking around.
Right,
They had the restaurant totally closed off here tonight for
Yep.
the scouts and I think family as well.
Family were sitting up in the bar area. Yes.
Someone can confirm that to us, but yeah, it was. And that's the thing, having an event like this in an arena that is much smaller than ones that we've seen it in recently. Of course, last year it was the Videotron Center. That's an NHL building.
A brand new arena. They built it for the NHL.
Yeah.
They built it.
That's an
because they
NHL
wanted
brand new
NHL.
building.
Yes.
And now we went from that to this, and that's not to disparage the Sleeman Center in any way, but this is more of a junior-sized rink.
It is a smaller arena. It's smaller than the Hershey Center.
Yeah.
It's a smaller rink, but I think the atmosphere was great. Like I haven't gone to a hockey game that sounded like this in a long time. But like it sounded amazing.
Well, you are a Steelheads fan.
Well,
Sorry.
Listen, all right. We made the final last year.
Yeah.
But no, it sounded great, and it was a top prospects game. It wasn't even the hometown Guelph Storm play. So I could only imagine what it would sound like.
There were a lot of people in the stands. It seemed like that. They must be just big Don Cherry fans because Team Cherry was the home team.
Yeah.
But they seemed to get a few more extra cheers.
It
when
was
they
Don
scored.
Cherry, Hillis from the Guelph Storm, and Ryan Merkley.
Yeah.
They just got crazy ovations.
Yeah.
And they like hyped up Don Cherry like he was coming in the Royal Rumble or something. Like,
the Royal Rumble is this weekend.
Yes, it is,
Like,
exactly.
Actually, it might be by the time people hear this, it might be over. But
who knows? Don Cherry might have been in it. Who knows?
You know what? There's surprise entrances in the Royal Rumble every year. Let's get Don Cherry in
Don
it.
Cherry. Can you imagine like the
you'd
30th entrance?
I mean, you'd probably have to have that one in Canada. Then everyone would freak out in the
freak out.
crowd.
It's Don
He'd
Cherry.
get a huge pop. Just here he come, Don Cherry, number
Cherry.
27 in the
You'd
Royal
have
Rumble.
the Coach's Corner theme song like pumping through the speakers, and
He's coming up against
running down
Roman Reigns.
the aisle. Yeah.
Oh man, and giving his
Oh, my
his
God.
finishers the thumbs up. Just man,
amazing.
no, that's pretty good. But the game itself, I mean, we tried to watch as much of it as we possibly could. We had to do a lot of like shooting some B-roll, and we went and did some
got
interviews.
a lot of footage.
A lot
Got
of
a lot
footage
of-
tonight, but man, before the game, we said let's hope for a 6-5 game or a 7-6 game.
I didn't ask for this.
I mean, in the end, it finished. Team Cherry won 7-4.
It wasn't as close.
It wasn't as close as it
I
makes
think it was
sound.
5-0 at one point in the second period.
It was 5. Yeah, Team
Yes.
Cherry had a 5-0 lead
Yes.
and a 7-2 lead. I
Yes.
think so. Team Moore got the last couple of goals.
Yep.
I mean, bit of a blowout, obviously. And what was it in the first period? They had a 4-0 lead.
It was 4-0 in the span of maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
I had
was
seen
right at
a
the end of the
thing.
period.
I'd seen a tweet. They scored 4 goals in the span of 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
There it is.
A couple of those from Ty Dellandrea.
Yep. Beautiful goals too.
Yeah, they were really nice goals.
Within a minute.
As a Steelheads fan, got to ask you, what did you think of Ingham and McLeod out there tonight?
Well, let me just start off by saying that I hope Ryan McLeod saved all his goals for tomorrow night against the Peterborough Petes. But I think he had a very strong showing. He took a penalty, obviously, but all the players are aggressive in this game. Penalties are going to happen. He played a really strong game physically. He was showcasing his speed. So I thought he put on a good performance. Obviously, he didn't show up on the score sheet, but what are you going to do about that? I thought he had a great performance. And then Jacob Ingham, obviously coming in the middle of a game is no easy task for any goaltender.
No.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is in this game. But he came in. I think they scored on his first shot. His first shot was a goal.
He let one in through the 5-hole.
But at the same time, it was back and forth action at that point during the game. So I thought he had a pretty strong performance as well. He played well, and he showed the scouts what he can do come June, and hopefully he'll be a high draft pick. And well, when I say a high draft pick, maybe a third-round pick. He is a goalie, so
yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, that's pretty good for if you're a
yeah.
goalie and you're going the third round, you're a pretty good goalie.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
In the NHL draft, gone are the days where we see Marc-Andre Fleury going number 1 overall.
Number 1 overall.
I mean,
and
if
Carey Price number 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bit different these days, but they'll get there.
Yeah.
Gotta say though, I mean, obviously, not as much hype as there was for like the Nico Heischer last year, but and he's not ranked number 1 overall, but he was the number 1 ranked overall player who played in this game. He's ranked number
Right.
2 overall in all the scouting reports. Andrei Shnechnikov from the Barrie Colts. Honestly, though, from what I saw, I didn't really notice much of him tonight.
They
Did you?
played. Barry played in Mississauga last Friday, and I
Okay.
also thought he's a strong puck carrier, and he can play the game physically, but he doesn't really have a wow factor, although he's a great player, and obviously he needs time to develop still. But I feel like this draft is going to be weaker in the type of way where there is no Austin Matthews, there is no Connor McDavid. All the players in the first round might make the NHL and be serviceable NHL players and put up points, but I don't think there's going to be that one superstar that's going to go first or second overall, like a Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, or even last year. I'm drawing a blank now. I don't remember.
Don't worry,
But
I do that on the show every week.
Yeah. But I don't think there's really going to be that one superstar. I think it's just going to be all kind of even. It's just one of those draft years.
Yeah, well, Dahlin from Sweden seems to be the guy this
He
year.
might go first. They're talking
Yeah.
about Svechnikov possibly going first. Who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair for both of us, I mean, you had seen Svechnikov before tonight. This was the first time I'd ever seen him live.
I've seen him before, yes.
When Barry rolled through Guelph here earlier this season, he was out with an injury, so I haven't gotten to see him.
And that's another thing, too. He just came back from injury. So you can't really base him
He's been back for a little bit, though.
a little bit, but
He
also
had
I
to play
think...
at the World Juniors, didn't he?
No, he didn't. I don't think he did. Oh, I
Okay.
can't remember now, actually.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
It's been a long, long day.
Yeah.
But today I wasn't necessarily impressed with him. But I know he's a great player.
He
has
did
all the
have
skills.
one rush where I kind of went, whoa, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I really didn't, and that was like the first time I noticed him all night.
Yeah.
But that kind of comes back to the whole thing. It's one game.
Yep.
And as much NHL scouts as there is here, and as much national attention this game gets, in the end, it is just one game, and it's not like you can really totally base a draft off of it, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I was even thinking that to myself during the game. It's only one game. Ryan McLeod played better on Sunday against Kingston than today. So you can't base his skill set on today.
Now, a guy like Evan Bouchard who had 4 assists tonight, or Ty Dellandrea who had 2 goals, or Aiden Dudas who had 2 goals, including that highlight reel goal. I mean, now maybe they were hoping that someone put some more stock into them after the game.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter about Aiden Dudas from Owen Sound that a lot of people aren't giving him a lot of credit. And I've seen him play. And
he originally wasn't going to be in this game.
Oh yeah, he was. I think he was announced 2 days ago.
Yeah,
that he was going to be in this game.
He replaced Cody Clark from Ottawa.
Yes. Yeah. He played great, and I think he did have 2 goals.
He had 2 goals,
right.
yeah.
One of them, again, like you mentioned, a highlight reel goal. He played
like that
great.
was the highlight of the night, and
yep.
Like you said, he wasn't in this game a week ago. So
exactly, and it's good for storylines as well. Some players, like you said, Dellandrea putting up 2 goals from the Flint Firebirds, and I've never heard of him before.
You hadn't heard of him?
I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Well, it is Flint, and I'm a Mississauga Steelheads fan. We don't play them often. Sorry, we haven't even played them yet this season. Well, in Mississauga.
Flint rolls in here for the first time this season tomorrow night. And I even had to say, I said to Ty after the game, I interviewed him, I'm like, I hope you, no offense, but I hope you used up all your goals tonight. We need this win more than you guys do.
Yeah.
I didn't say it to him, but it's like, you guys probably aren't going to make the playoffs. We're trying to push for home ice here. Come on, man. You had your night.
We'll see how it goes. And like you mentioned earlier,
he's going to score a hat trick tomorrow now.
Of course. I mean, he's red hot now. Of course he's going to put it up. You mentioned earlier, though, that Ryan Merkley and who's the other one from the Guelph?
Cam Hillis.
Cam
Hillis.
Hillis.
That's okay.
I keep forgetting his. I know Hillis, but I want to say his full name. Make it sound professional.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that it is a 3-on-3 weekend, so they can't play 4 days in a row. So they're going to have to sit out one game this weekend. So possibly tomorrow against the Flint Firebirds would probably be the best option.
I mean, it's a good thing I don't run a hockey team because I'm probably not as smart as you think I am. Or no, we all know you're dumb, Steve.
Well,
but if it was up
I'm
to
not
me,
gonna say it.
yeah. If it was, anyway.
Yeah, we'll see.
But if it was up to me, with the weekend Guelph has coming up, I mean, we play Flint at home tomorrow night, and then we got to do road games in Owen Sound in London. I mean, I'm sitting them for the Flint game for sure.
Yeah. Or maybe you play, like you mentioned, you sit one and then you play the other one, and then the next night you do vice versa or whatever. You switch them up.
Well, and just remember, they didn't just have today. They had all that physical training yesterday.
And the day before.
And the day before. They had a lot of dry land training.
The day before, and then yesterday was on-ice training, and then obviously today they had the game.
It might be best if they take tomorrow off just out of necessity, no matter who they were playing.
They could just be tired. You never know. Just give them the day off. But also, you got to look at it as maybe you put your best players in to give yourself the best chance to win against a team that is not as strong as them.
Yeah.
So maybe you go for the win. Maybe you want to put in your best players against better teams and give them a day off. But who knows? I don't make the decisions. People get paid to make the decisions.
That's up to George Burnett.
There you go. Yeah.
He's a pretty straight shooter. I know we tried to kind of go with a bit of a fun approach to today's proceedings because, I mean, they brought us in and they liked, we got to give a shout out to Paul Krotz. I mean, he brought us in. We've had him on the show before during the Memorial Cup. Great guy, and he liked our idea. It's like, we're trying to go with something different. You are bringing us in for this. We could ask the same questions, but that's why there's 800 other media here already. Why have us do that?
I didn't want to ask any of the boring questions that most of the players have been, I wouldn't say boring, but the status quo questions that all of them have been asked 1,000 times in the last week or the last couple of days. I wanted to get something better out of them and show their lighthearted side, and just see if we can make them laugh.
Exactly. If you could get them to crack a smile, I think it's like
that's a win.
And we got that a couple times. You might not
got a few laughs and a couple smiles. So Gil Thomas.
You can't hear smiles on this podcast, unfortunately. But of course, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you can see the video, all the video we shot.
On the OHL Fanboys YouTube channel.
Well, that, and of course on the OHL website where you should be able to hear this right now, because they're doing a little bit of cross promoting. So,
yes, as well. Yes.
You guys sold out. You guys changed, man. But
I don't make the decisions on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
So, no, it's been a fun day, and like I said, I think it'll be more fun looking back on it, because throughout the day, you're just kind of
trying to get
hoping and praying it goes well, right?
And you're trying to get as much done and do your best, as best as you can.
Shoot 3 hours of B-roll footage that might get used for 10 seconds. It's just like, but you want it.
Yeah, but you need it and you want it, and we did our best, and we got a lot of good stuff, and I'm excited to share it myself. And obviously, you guys are going to put together some stuff on the OHL Fanboys podcast YouTube page. So it's going to be a lot of videos and a lot of content that we got from today that will be shared and broadcasted on the YouTube channel as well.
It's been an experience, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's time that we go to bed on this one, because
I think I'm ready for bed.
It's been a long day. But before we do that, I think it's time for everyone to hear some of the content that we got out of today. So,
yes.
With that in mind,
Brian, take it away.
No. He's not here this week. Shh. We got a lot of interviews, so let's just get right into it right now. Here has been our day at the CHL Top Prospects game.